I have been wondering this question from the very beginning. I know all of you thought that these piercings were fake and you didn't want to believe me, but now we know that they are real, even though I showed proof from the beginning that North posted while she was getting pierced. You guys still didn't believe it. This person said, how is it legal for her to get piercings on her body? Even if she has parental consent, that's still too much for a child. I agree. And I think that there's a lot of piercers in the comments who agree and say that their license, whoever's doing this, should be taken away. North posted this photo to her TikTok story many, many months ago, and you guys were still saying it was special effects makeup. She also posted this one from the same day where the piercing is now in. Her finger's very clearly red. This was her first finger piercing, and you guys said it was fake. And now we very much see that where that first finger piercing went, there is now just a scar. Because again, as the piercers in my comments and the piercers on the internet agree, finger piercings and surface piercings on your hands are so susceptible to, one, infection, and two, getting snagged and pulled on things that they almost always reject. It is a horrible place for piercings for adults, let alone for a 13-year-old child, 12 at the time when she got the first one. Now, if I had to guess, I do think that the nose and the lips are special effects makeup. I think. I cannot confirm nor deny. I'm not putting it past Kim and Kanye for them to be real, but I do think that they are fake. I hope to dear Lord, baby Jesus above, that they are fake.
She's perfect. She's so cute and quiet, and I just feel like she's the next it girl. Like, cause she's just so effortlessly has the wow factor.
What are you doing? Really, what are you doing? Do you hear yourself? Did you watch that video back and listen to everything you said? Did you not feel weak? Why does there need to be any commentary on this child at all? She's 6 years old. I can understand a little bit when people comment on Northwest or Drake's kid or Blue Ivy because they've been a part of the content that their parent makes and we engage with that content. But even then, there needs to be a limit. There needs to be a line that you don't cross. I know some people might view her videos like, oh, she's just being nice, women complimenting other women. But I'm gonna be honest, the language that she's using makes me uncomfortable. Sorry. And what's even crazier is the post that she's showing comes from an account, a fan page for Chicago West, a fan page for a 6-year-old with over 200,000 followers. All those people need to be investigated. I'm sorry. There is no reason why you would need to follow or engage with content about a 6-year-old that you do not know at all. The video I stitched is a great example of why people should refrain from using their children for content, because you have weirdos out there who will discuss your child at length.
Put her on the series, I was like, oh my god, she's so cute. I mean, all of Kim's kids are beautiful. All the Kardashian kids are beautiful. North is still stunning, even though she's kind of sus. And Stormi is, so cute.
You see what I'm saying?
Kim Kardashian is a bad mother, and here's how I know. And yeah, I'm going to say that. You can't say someone's a bad mother. I'm going to start saying that because you guys hide a lot of bad women by acting like we can't talk about when people are bad mothers. So let me just go ahead and give you all the hints that I know that this woman should never have been a mother. I'm just going to go ahead and use this picture for the rest of it because it's great. Number one, she picked the worst possible man to have children with. That's not someone you pick to have children with if you want to have healthy, happy children and a healthy, happy, stable family. So, first selfish decision she made. Ooh, number two, since we've already got this masterpiece of her trying to be vulnerable with a face that doesn't move. In this scene, Kim's crying about failing the law exam, and Courtney's talking to her at one point, and Courtney's like, well, why don't you just stop? She's like, I've got so much going on. I've got to study for this, and I've got the Met Gala, and she names two things, which is the Met Gala and studying for an exam. Girl, if that's all you've got going on, you're the least busy person on the planet. But what really struck me is she didn't mention her kids. How many did she have? 4 or 5 kids? And she's talking about how busy she is, and she never once mentioned anything about her kids because she's a bad mom. Number 3.
Northwest never looked like a grown woman. Kim Kardashian is not a bad mom for letting her wear that outfit, even if I think it's a little risky for 12 years old. And none of it is this deep. Y'all just really struggled to let preteens be preteens. Now, I do think that a miniskirt and a corset top are a bit much for 12. I probably would have had my kid put on a jean jacket if she was mine, but she isn't. But this whole thing has gone so far out of proportion that people are saying that Kim is this horrible mother, that Kanye was right all along, and that North should be with him. The literal Nazi who parades his girlfriend around buck naked. Is it a choice I would have made for my child? No. Do I think she missed the mark a little bit with that one? Yeah. But I've never met a mother hit the mark every single time, and it is evident by everything else she wore that week and everything that she usually wears that Kim is just trying to parent her child through this phase of life where she's trying to figure out her identity. And again, the outfit was a little much for a 12-year-old, but that's the thing. She's 12, not 20, and not 2. If you look at her and think, oh, she looks like a grown woman, you need to go see more grown women. I mean, she has braces and her baby face. Maybe 14, 15, even 16, but a grown woman? She looks like a child playing dress up because she's a child playing dress up. And that's part of what makes us so uncomfortable, because we know this outfit is a little mature for her, but she's also trying to figure out her sense of style because she's 12. When I say that we don't need mature clothes for kids, I mean like babies, toddlers, elementary school age kids. Or a mini skirt, because their biggest priority in a day is to run without tripping. But at 12, you've likely hit puberty or will hit it soon. You're trying to figure out your identity, as now you can perceive yourself and you can perceive society. You know what's on trend. You know what looks good on people and you want to know what looks good on you. Like, that's where they are. It's the beginning of an age for boundary pushing. So yeah, she's gonna try to push those boundaries, and Kim is obviously trying to guide her through that. Again, I also think that the outfit is a little mature, but I also think y'all are genuinely overreacting, because you cannot stop adultifying little girls, and you also won't give them the autonomy and the space to try to figure themselves out. There's no winning.
So Kim Kardashian lied unprovoked about Northwest, right? And when people lie unprovoked, it's quite interesting to consider why. So Kim said,
funny, like people are like, oh, this blue hair, all of a sudden, or like her fake piercings that she puts up.
So Kim said that North's piercings were fake. She volunteered that information, even though nobody asked her if the piercings were real or not. And we can see that a lot of the piercings that people have been noticing are indeed actually real. We can see the scarring from one that has been taken out, or maybe the piercing was rejected. And we can see that these piercings are very much in her skin. So why did Kim lie unprovoked about this issue? Usually when people lie unprovoked, it's to conceal an unpalatable truth, and maybe something that they themselves feel uncomfortable with or guilty about. The unpalatable truth in this case is that both Kim and Ye have agreed that they want North to be a major star. And to be a major star in the entertainment industry in the United States, most of the time you have to start early, i.e. when you're a child. And oftentimes that means that you trade in having a traditional childhood with traditional childhood experiences. Taylor Swift, the biggest pop star in the world, signed her first publishing deal when she was just 14 years old. Remember, that's when she signed the deal, so she must have been working intensively prior to that time, i.e. when she was around North's age. Drake, probably the second biggest star in the world, was just 14 years old when he started acting on popular TV show Degrassi. That's just 1 year older than North is now. Olivia Rodrigo started her career at 12 years old, younger than North. I think what people are more reacting to is North's alternative fashion. But what is actually safer? Getting a couple of piercings and hanging out in Paris with your mum's stylist and security, or being on set and practically having a full-time job? I mean, some would say neither, but that's the reality within which these people are working. So going back to my original question, I think that Kim lied about North's piercings because Kim has a high EQ and she understands that part of the Kardashian brand, a major part of the Kardashian brand, is the idea that they're just like us, only richer. That relatability factor. So she knows that the soccer mums who watch her show and buy her products can't relate to building a brand around your child so that she can become a major star in the future. That is the reality of the situation. That's what they want. And they've decided that North's career starts now.
No, Northie actually has a lot of rules. The one area is I do let her express herself, and I do let her do that. I love her for that. And she would do it, you know, regardless. It's funny, like people are like, oh, this blue hair, all of a sudden, or like her fake piercings that she puts up, or her, you know, I have pictures of her when we're in first grade, pre-K, where she'd come with like a fake septum ring, and she has her green braids and she has pink braids, but she's always loved the colored braids in her hair since she was little. Like, she really is who she is and always has been that girl.
Unapologetically.
And so like I nurture her. She is homeschooled, and a lot of it is me helping her do a lot of the teachings and the things that we do, but we do a lot of realistic courses, things that she's really into. Math, we'll give budgets and we'll go around stuff and we'll add it all up and subtract it all, and she has a brand building class. You know, it's like an actual course and a curriculum.
More interactive learning than
fully
textbook
interactive learning. And so she had an idea of making hats and making jewelry and all the things she wanted to make. So we made it a course, and she has to do the web design, and she has to do the budgeting, and she has to go to the stores and get materials and sewing. And we do like full fashion courses, and she goes to, in the summers, like to FIT in New York, and goes to fashion camp, you know, and loves these more interactive experiences. And so I nurture her, but it's a full-time job. even for me and her teacher. And I think people don't realize, like, I'm with her and the kids 24/7. And it's like, I've now added like a teacher to my role because she wants me involved in all the things. And, you know, I took like the last 6 months off to be able to really do that and do her courses and get the curriculum from her teachers and be there in the room with her. And it's been a lot. And it's been so fun to see her blossom, and even like her music course at school. She'd do a regular like music course and learn certain things. But at home, she'll do an 8-hour music studio session where she's producing and writing. And a part of, you know, I'll add her writing out all of her lyrics as a part of her, you know, spelling tests. And we do all of the things at home that she really enjoys and are challenging. And I think they would be like proud to see like how smart she really is and how creative she really is. And I can only dream that my children all find a passion and a purpose as young as she has.
Well, and I think it's really inspiring and beautiful the way that you do nurture her passions and that you are so accepting of them. Like, she's 12 and I know she loves producing and she's doing that now, and you encourage that. And I think, I know on
she should be focusing on school and growing as a person, not living in an adult world. Both girls were born into celebrity families, but Blue Ivy chose to put her energy into improving her dance.
These girls will forever be compared, but I'm going to tell you why they shouldn't be compared. Because they got a white mama and a black mama. And white mamas and black mamas generally raise their kids different. Northwest is a little black girl being raised as a white girl. Now stay with me to understand this. Northwest looks like a black girl, but on the inside, she is raised like a little white girl. Because for her mama to allow her to value money so much, so value being an adult's business, and when you're on the red carpet, you don't even have red carpet etiquette, that is a true testimony to whiteness in America and white supremacy. Because whiteness allows you to act however you want without the repercussions of criticism. Now, Blue Ivy got a black mama. Blue Ivy's mama knows that just for the simple fact of being black, you're always going to be criticized. I mean, when this little girl was in the womb, she was being criticized. When she came out, she was being criticized. So literally, Beyonce is grooming Blue Ivy to move in silence. And we could see that because in just 3 years, look how she has improved in her dancing abilities. And I can guarantee you that right now, Blue Ivy is in a studio practicing on her vocals because she will be coming out as a singer. And she is moving in silence, and she is going to shock the world when she comes out. Because that's what Black excellence is, moving in silence and then coming out like a bomb. I know people are going to get upset, and I know people are going to say, well, Kim Kardashian is not white. Yes, Kim Kardashian is racially white, ethnically Albanian, and I would say she's also ethnically white American, meaning her culture is white American culture. And if you know what white American culture is, it's literally rooted in racism. Anything that has to do with racism is white American culture. Is the sense of entitlement of being white, of doing whatever you want and not having any repercussions of it. I mean, the simple fact that she got famous off of a Smex tape says it all. She is white. So in conclusion, it is not a good idea to compare these two girls because Blue Ivy is a little black girl, a fully black girl. And Northwest is a little black girl being raised to be a white girl. I said what I said. That's it.
I want some money, but this is...
What? No, we don't ask. No. No.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Because TikTok Live, like...
This isn't TikTok Live. This is Instagram.
I know.
So you were like...
I know.
Got it messed up for a second. I thought...
I've been seeing this video go viral the last couple of days, you know, and everybody's been talking about it. Kim correcting North, XYZ, you know, which she did, you know. But people gotta understand, bro. I mean, how much money Northwest may have or may be entitled to, or, you know, the lineage that she may come from, bro, she's still 12. And she's going to do what she thinks is cool and what's popular and what she sees online. Hence why she has black gold grills and the wigs and the this and that. She's 12. She's growing up and doing things that she wants to do. She has the money at her disposal. And if she wants to get online and, hey, galaxies, or whatever she want to do to just make her money or battle or whatever, she's going to do it because she just has the access to just do that. Now, do I agree with people who I think have access to a lot of money getting online and pretty much begging for money? No. But I think that she's just a product of just seeing it online and wanting to be a part of that culture. Getting on and just making her own little bread. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she was wrong for it. I do like that, Kim kind of corrected it. Like, we don't ask nobody for money because, we already got money. You don't want to take anybody's hard-earned cash just to, add it to the billions that you already have.
This is a really great point, especially because Penelope is 13, which means she's a year older than North, who is 12 years old. And she's never been dressed in a corset. This also negates the comment about Kim being white, because then Courtney is too, and Courtney's kids don't dress like that. So let's go through some of Penelope's outfits and see how they differ. Obviously in this one, their outfits are pretty similar. Oversized tees, baggy jeans, no issues there. The main difference in this picture is the full glam. North is in full glam at 12 years old, and Penelope is barefaced or very natural, as any child should be. Moving on. Here's a picture of her and Courtney together, and she might be in a crop top, but I find the craziest part about this outfit, the Gucci trench coat. Okay, fashion queen. It's just like wild to comprehend that children at age 12, 13, because they're famous, are wearing like thousands of dollars of runway clothing. It's wild to me, but appropriate. No full glam, no corset in sight. And one more, another oversized tee, some baggy shorts. It's just hilarious. The socks with the flats, I love it. And then her cute little slick back bun. But this is how children should be dressed. They should look back and be able to laugh at their fashion choices, not cringe at the fact that their mother let them out of the house in something so inappropriate. Like, it should be funny and fun, just like how everyone's sharing their photos of themselves at 12 years old under my posts. Like, it's hilarious, but it's not hilarious when you're in a corset.
Someone said that Northwest was born with her father's confidence but her mother's talent, and I have to stop laughing. It's her song, and I just know for a fact that Kim helped her with her lyrics. When a parent does a kid's homework and a teacher sends a homework back with a bunch of red marks saying, hey, like, all of this is wrong. Yeah, similar. She also recently did her first solo show. I already know that someone's response is going to be like, she's only 12 years old. She's doing the best she can for 12 years old. And my argument is going to be that she shouldn't be doing any of these things because she is 12 years old. The video is not a critique of Northwest, right? Like, she is a child. And if I was 12 years old and I had all the money in the entire world and parents who did not give a single fuck about me, I as well would have been behaving exactly like her. Unfortunately for me, I had parents who cared about me and gave me restrictions and rules and did things to protect me. She's performing on stages in a room full of only adults, and every single adult who bought a ticket to go see her perform, you're a fucking weirdo. Often talked about this family's obsession with fame and exploitation, especially when it comes to in terms to the women in the family, right? To the girls in the family, because we see that they are a lot more protective over the boys, right? Like, how often do we see Mason Disick somewhere, right? And Mason Disick is a lot older now. Kardashian went through some personal hard times and was able to hide from the shadows and was able to go into hiding and be alone because that's what he wanted. He didn't like the spotlight. He didn't like the fame. Plenty of the Kardashian girls have expressed not liking the fame. Kylie has talked about having anxiety, right? And like, it was too much for her. And there wasn't a point in time where her mother ever gave her a break from the spotlight. I think if Northwest would have been a boy instead, she would not be on the stages doing this. I think we probably wouldn't even know if Northwest looked like had she been born a boy instead. The problem is not that she wants to do music. You know, her father is a very famous musician. I'm not surprised that she has an interest in music. My problem is that there's obvious evidence by just listening that you've never been in a rehearsal room, that you are not studying music. The music is not being actually taught to you. You're just being allowed to go into the studio and do whatever you want and then throw it out into the world. Reminds me a lot when Beyonce said, nobody wants to rehearse. That's the problem is everybody hates the rehearsal room. Everybody hates rehearsing. This entitled attitude that she 100% inherited from her mother's side of the family, that you don't have to work at things, that you don't have to rehearse, that you don't have to practice, that you don't have to earn things. We had this conversation a while back when she was the star of that Lion King musical and she beat out all those kids who were like child prodigies and had been practicing music and studying music since they were like 3 years old, and she got the part instead and like literally sounded a mess the entire time. because her mother pulled strings to make sure that she got the part. And so many of you were up here being like, so what? So what? Who cares that she took the opportunity from kids who had worked hard for it and who had actually earned the opportunity? Keys and her sons to me are another great example, right? Who are older, a little bit older now, but like I remember when we first saw them, like when they got, I want to say he was like 10 or 12, right? And he was a child prodigy just like his mother, right? And he was an expert level piano player. The other one was a composer. Those are children who are evidence of a mother who is teaching them work ethic, of a mother who is teaching them the importance of going to your lessons, of going to rehearsals, of practicing, of perfecting your craft before you share it with the world. Blue Ivy said that she wanted to be on tour with her mother and she wanted to dance on stage. What did her mother say to her? Well, then I expect you at every rehearsal room. I expect you at every practice then. To come on my stage and look a mess, you can earn it like all the rest of the dancers. Mind you, she's 14. Northwest is 12 years old. 12 years old is so young. Not to get too personal, but I hadn't even gotten my first period at 12 yet. Like, that is really a child. I genuinely just feel really bad. Not so bad that I'm not going to talk shit about how bad the music sounds. No, not at all. Not that bad. A while ago on my Substack, I wrote an article about how the death of art is tied to nepotism, right? And how good art requires ingenuity, and ingenuity is birthed from a place of need, right? It is birthed from a place of necessity. That is where creativity comes from. Nepo baby, who's had every need and want they've ever had met, could never provide anything creatively of value to the world, right? Like the best that they can do is maybe find a collaborator who comes from a place of need and then co-opt their movement. Sam Levinson is like a great example of that, right? But a Nepo baby by themselves truly has nothing to provide to the arts. That is why rich people are supposed to fund the arts, not be the face of the arts. And we are now in this place where rich people are the face of the arts and they are robbing people who come from a place of need and have true creativity and ingenuity of opportunities to be the face of art because they would like it to revolve around them instead. Arts were always supposed to be made for and created for poor people, and artists were not supposed to be part of the 1%, and that's where we lost the plot.
Unfortunately, y'all hate on Northwest because y'all parents were wage slaves that couldn't afford to allow y'all to explore self-expression. They bought you the shoes that they could afford, not the shoes that you really wanted. They didn't have the money to allow you to experiment with hair color or makeup or clothing styles, anything. Not because, oh, you're a kid and kids can't, because they couldn't afford it. Also, they probably couldn't afford the social backlash that may have come with having a child that deviates from the social norm and practices self-expression, because that's not normal amongst wage slaves. It's not normal for a wage slave's child to be creative and interesting. But Northwest is the child of one of the most talented rappers in the world. Nobody ever expected her to be normal, and her parents can afford for her to not be normal. But you're confused about that because you're the child of a wage slave. You have a uniform set for you in life as a wage slave. Work clothes. That's as much expression as you're gonna get. And whatever sneakers that they're selling at the discount store. So y'all are looking at this 12-year-old that gets to actually have like expression and a life experience, and y'all are just jealous. Y'all are just jealous.
One day, my kids will thank me for not sitting here and like bashing their dad when I could. You know?
I have no patience for the morality police who love to trash talk Kim Kardashian and have nothing to say about the fatherhood choices of Kanye West that negatively impact his children. Kim Kardashian refuses to talk crap about the father of her kids, Kanye West, even though he denigrates her publicly, surrounds himself with people who slander her, the mother of his kids, publicly, has doxed their children's school. Kanye West has doxed his own kids' school. Kim has had to hire private security to stand guard at the school because he's doxed it and told it to the public, putting their kids' safety at risk, and actually he just walks around behaving like a nut job. How dare you, Ye West, disparage the mother of your children publicly because you're too insecure and immature to handle it in the way that you should, leaving her to be the only one to provide security and sanity for your children. Those of us who grew up with strong mothers who were placed in unfortunate, unfair circumstances know exactly how Kim Kardashian is feeling, and we feel for her. And so if you're going to bring the heat for her, you better bring it for the father of her children who isn't being the man that he should be.
So I got to see these two amazing families, the family of Kanye West and the family of Jay-Z, right? Their kids making headlines on the internet, and then people are judging and, trying to call out Kim Kardashian for, not being a very good mom, right? And, trying to judge Kim's daughter, Northwest, and Ivy Blue. But then the thing is, it's I don't really like to really jump into this, in as much as it can be very dicey. I believe every mother has a way they want to raise their kids, right? But then again, if we want to say based on what we're saying, right, or maybe we want to really judge, we really give credits to Beyonce and Jay-Z, right? We say they're doing a good job with Blue Ivy because of the way we've seen her composure outside. We've seen the way she behaves outside. Now, looking at Northwest, a whole lot was actually expected from Northwest, right? Looking at the controversy between Kim and so much. Sometime he decided to say, okay, I'm no longer doing all of these things. I'm now a follower of Christ. My kids must be responsible. My kids will not be on the social media. My kids won't be on TikTok. I want them to be dressing all through. All of that. And then, trust me, I've not seen Northwest, maybe wearing something revealing, right? In as much as I always have, I'm kind of skeptical. What kind of clothes does she put on? And sometimes I'd be like, okay, maybe she, wants to take over that kind of fashion sense, because her father's fashion sense can also be very weird. But then coming out to see all of this blue hair, the piercings, right? And I'm kind of, and again, looking at Northwest is a very small girl. Some things are really not that expected from her. Now, when I'm talking as African, right, we can't, if someone see your kid of that age dressed that way, they assume you as a mother, especially, not even a father, you are a failed mother. That is what they just assume. I don't really know what it is in America, but looking at these videos, it feels almost the same. But then, we never can tell. I watched that interview by Kim Kardashian and her sister, where she was talking about what her daughter is up to. And I'm like, okay, that's good. She's doing a very good job. I wouldn't judge her. But the thing is, the end is going to justify the means. We never can tell what their end will look like. But the thing is, if you ask me, I'll be like, I don't really understand Kim Kardashian. But then, looking at every other kid Kim Kardashian has for this man, I feel it's just this one that is that way. And sometimes you could liken it to maybe mentally, or probably she just took after her father. That's all I have to say. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments about what I said. Do you think the same way, or do you think, oh, the girl is acting above character, above her age, or the mother has failed, her father has failed, like everyone is saying, or people are even beginning to compare, Kim Kardashian and Beyonce, and they are saying Kim Kardashian is white, Beyonce is black. The thing is, Kim Kardashian is not even white. I think she's Latino or something, and she's from Albania. So I don't really see her as white, even though most of the time in their shows they claim they are white, but then we see them as Latinas, right? Let me hear your thoughts anyways in the comment. I don't want to make this too long and too bored, right? Please subscribe, like, share these videos, and make sure to make this very interactive, respectfully, right? My name is BJ, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.